Yeah, done. Can you listen to me? Hello. Okay, good morning, class. Uh, Students who are in waiting list, you can drop your enrollment number in the chat section. And so we have 5 participants. Okay, we'll be starting now. Sharing the screen which we have stopped by in the last lecture, that is NPA. Those are unmute yourself, can please mute themselves. Whoever wants to ask question, they can ask by unmuting themselves. Okay, fine. Shall we start now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we have in the last lecture we have done with the NPA, that is non-performing assets, the accounts, banking, and NPA is having a strong relation because banks are the institute who are dealing with money, and it is the creditor and debtor. The bank has a relationship of a creditor and debtor with us. So dealing with money, NPA, long-term loans which is not recovered, that can be said as an NPA. NPA has been classified in four things, and more than four things we have also seen, that is term loan, cash credit overdraft, agricultural advances, and the advances taken for residential mortgage, home loan, equity loan, credit cards or non-credit loans, outstanding loans, the consumer loans, all of it will be in the type of NPA. Now, classification of NPA for bank is standard asset, substandard asset, doubtful debts, and loss assets. Now, standard asset is less than 12 months, substandard asset is 12 months and more. Doubtful debt is more than 18 months if I'm not recovering my money back, and loss assets is nothing but my internal auditor or external auditor is telling me that now the asset will not be recovered because more than 18 months it has happened, and it will be shown in the balance sheet. The next is what bank should consider when they are giving a loan, that is character, collateral, capacity, and condition. Now, character of a person, of an industry, collateral which has been pledged. Next is capacity of a person or a company to get the money back, and the next one is condition, on what conditions they have given their assets, right? Assets in the sense pledge. The next one is cause of NPA may be a default, economic condition is not proper, so that I'm defaulting. Next is proper risk management has not been done by the banks. mismanagement has done by the banks, and diversification of funds has not been done by the bank. If diversification, if I want to give an example, so I invested all my deposits from the public. As a bank, I've collected all my deposits from the public, and I've invested only in one industry, like steel industry, only in one industry. Like automobile is not doing good, and I have invested all my savings and deposits taken from public in, say, automobile industry. So these are the factors which causes NPA. The next, it is why NPA, bad lending practices. Competition is there, and competition is there, so I have to survive in the competition, and that's the only reason I'm lending the big corporate houses. The next one is incremental components. Now, incremental components, internal bank management, like credit policy is affected, all of it. The next one is overhang components, that is economic activities, economic factors, which will be affecting my NPA or my say, one second. Uh, okay, in the chat section, you can just mention your enrollment number. If not done, you can do so. And in the crisis, in the matter of crisis whereby I'm not doing good and my NPA is created, the people are unable to pay my money back, money back. Now next will be next was impact. We have also seen that deposit, what will be the deposit, what will be the impact of NPA when my bank has created NPA. More NPA, I'll be not a stable bank, can be said. I'll not be stable. My depositor will be just uh, not interested to deposit more money. As you have seen that now the interest rate has gone down tremendously. Like the interest rate for say saving अरे FDs, fixed deposit, आपने अगर पढ़ा हो तो you can just tell me कि what are the interest rate of fixed deposit now at today's date. It has been decreased tremendously. Anyone? Okay. So it has been decreased by 1 to 1.5% for every bank, because we are not, the banks are not doing business nowadays. The repo rate has been fall. There is much, the economic condition is not in a favor of everyone. So these are the see, causes of it. Now, talking about deposit, we can talking about depositors. Depositor will be losing interest. Depositor will be losing the trust in my bank. Then borrowers will be not borrowing because I'll be having more NPA. As if I'll be having more NPA, I'll be earning through the borrowers. If I'll be earning through the borrowers, I'll be charging more interest rates. So interest rate is the major. Yes, any questions? You can mute yourself, anyone. You can just mute yourself. Yeah, please. Thank you so much. Okay. Next is reputation of bank shareholders will be affected. Failure of bad investments will be there. Liquidity of bank is influenced. So these were the causes, and we have seen this act will be realization of my asset when I have to dissolve my company, or I have to just consolidate and form a new company if I have to merge. So they'll be recovering from my financial and operational asset. The debt recovery tribunal was there. Before I'm talking about IBC. Before IBC, this one was operating, debt recovery tribunal was operating, local adalats for operating, compromise settlement has been done by DRT and Credit Information Bureau. CIBIL is giving the scores where to give which money and how much money and at what percentage. They'll be just getting on to these four things: character, collateral, capacity, and condition. So moving forward to insolvency and bankruptcy court. So it is said as IBC 2016. So what is that IBC 2016? Insolvency. First, I'm insolvent. Means what? I'm unable to pay back the money. I'm bankrupt. I'm unable to pay back the money. I have nothing left uh, nothing left to pay back the money of bank or any financial institution. So why this code was so much important in 2016, we'll be seeing in the next slide. Now, insolvency and bankruptcy code is a bankruptcy law. Say Nadari दिखा देते हैं कि I'm unable to pay. Uh, right? Any questions? Yes.
No.
Consolidate. Yes, please ask. Okay. Consolidate the existing framework. Now, existing framework, why it has to be consolidated? There were many cons for that. We'll be studying in the next slide. These are the cons of the IBC code. Why in IBC code was necessary to implement, and why the last codes were creating a problem. There was no single law. We have seen the 4 laws. See this one. This one. See, SARFSE FAESI Act, that is Securitization in Construction Financial Assets and Enforcement of the Interest Act, that is dissolving my asset and then paying the creditors back. So this one was there. Debt Recovery Tribunal was there, whereby compromise is happening. Other than Debt Recovery Tribunal, the compromise were happening. Lok adalats were there, but these all things were taking minimum 5 years. That's why this code is in practice now. So single law, IBC, insolvency and bankruptcy. It has been governed by IBBI, that is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. Now, the insolvency and bankruptcy in 2015, it has been suggested, it has been introduced in, say, Lok Sabha. Okay, Lok Sabha, and December 2015, introduced in Lok Sabha. Passed in Lok Sabha was May 2016. See, the timeline it has been given. Introduced in December 2015, passed in May 2016, and Rajya Sabha in 11th May 2016. The code received the assent of President in 28 May 2016. Now, President has signed that particular code on 28 May 2016. Certain provision and act have come to force from 5th August and 19th August 2016. So it has been taken 6 months around to just go have a timeline of implementation of IBC code. The code is one-stop solution. Why it is one-stop solution? I don't have to go to everyone for that particular. If I'm in, if I want to get my money back, I'm a creditor, I'm a small investor. Say for an example, I'm a new entrepreneur and I'm not getting my money back from a credit from a debtor, right? So this is a one-stop solution resolving insolvency and previously it was a long process. Say minimum 5 years. I've told it was previously long process, not economically viable. Now 5 साल तक अगर मेरा पैसा it is NPA, then economically I'll just crush my company. The code aims to protect the interest of small investor. Who are the small investor who invest in the business at very small amounts? Say for an example, I have taken a debentures in a company, or for an example, I am a small investor having 5,000 to 10,000 rupees in any of the banks. So small investor will be protected. Doing business less cumbersome. That is a long process. I'll just and long process and lots of lawful practices, what to read, what not to read, overlapping laws were there, so less cumbersome. Then IBC has 255 section and 11 schedules in it. Now, talking why IBC is necessary, why India needs IBC. Now India was having, it is an old cause. It was not like a pehle NPA nahi hota tha and now the NPA is more and it is creating problem. It was having, but why minimum 5 years? It was so painful. Minimum 5 years it was taking that my money will come back. No single law, it was overlapping law. we have uh, we have seen which are the overlapping jurisdiction and laws which were happening. Recovery rate was less, so I'll be having less recovery. Why less recovery? It is directly related to this timeline. See, अगर minimum 5 years इसको resolve होते हुए लगेंगे, so the recovery rate will be less, or by it will be nil. More NPAs lying in the bank. Now this was creating a problem. Bank say economic condition of banks was not good. High process cost of insolvency. The process cost. Okay, I have to just file the complaint and then I'll be getting my money back 5 years from now, or I'll be not getting my money back. So this was also the cost. No chance of ease of doing business as in ease exit. Now easy exit. Now through this particular code, if I'll be talking about ease of doing business, I'm talking about entrepreneurship. Now entrepreneurship, ease of doing business, whereby I'll be MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs is there. I'll be just go online Ministry of Corporate Affair. I'll be just get my director's identification number. I'll just get my say digital signature. I'll be just getting with a spike plus within 15 days I'll be getting my company registered. And if I want to exit from the business, it is, yes, it is 90 days. 90 days I can exit from it. So for entrepreneurship this was necessary. Now talking about this particular World Bank ranking. Now this World Bank ranking was is showing you that India is at 136th position, whereby resolution is there, though USA and UK are on 5th and 13th position. The most of these two countries are doing most of their business on credit. So this was worrisome, and this IBC was needed. Now IBC is old disease, but we'll be having a new prescription to it. Now why we see, so I've ease of doing business. See, no chance of ease of doing business. The chance of ease of doing business has been approved and ease of exit has been improved for whom? Promote entrepreneurship. Improved credit availability. If I'm see, if the company is making loss, they'll not be giving me credit at a lowest possible interest rate. Now, if IBC code is very good and it is performing well in my country, then the bank will be offering me credit on a less interest rate, and credit availability will be more. Now, next one is avoid prolonged time, that is minimum. Previously, it was minimum 5 years. Now it is minimum 153 days. We'll be seeing that. Interest of all stakeholders say will be managed. Minimize the role of adjudicating authority. Now this particular is a board whereby he is resolving all the IBC like defaulters. Next one is less compliance mechanism. We'll be seeing how the compliance has been done and avoid combination and complication of many laws. Now these laws are, now those who have not shared their enrollment number or roll number in the chat section can share their enrollment number in the chat section. Not enrollment number, only roll number. Now talking about the next one, the journey of IBC we have already seen. First introduced on 21st December 2015 at Lok Sabha. 23rd, the bill was passed to the joint committee, both houses of parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. 28/4, the bill was passed by Houses of Parliament, fifth passed by LS and passed by RS, that is 11th. That is 11th May and 5th May. And the last date has been come into practice in 28th 2016. Shabi, now who can take the advantage of this particular code? So we can say any company under the Companies Act 2013. Any company governed by the special act. Now special act may be an RBI, maybe Insurance Corporation of India, LIC, uh, LIC, the special act. Next is LLP, limited liability partnership. Next is partnership. Next is any body governed by central government. Now, central government is say MCA or any of the governed by the central government, and any individual who wants to take, who has given on credit and is not getting his money back, can go to IBC and form and take an advantage of this particular code. Now these are the objects of the code. Now the objects of code is, it is a creditor in a controlled region. Why creditor? Because if I'm a creditor, I'll be more conscious about getting my money back. Existing insolvency and amendment. Whosoever is just doing this, please stop and rub it, whatever it is. Overriding effect of other laws, that is say debt appellate tribunal, or say lok adalats, lok adalats, say SAR Act 2002. So one code is there. Now Chartered Institute of Public Relation evaluation is been done. Clearly defined waterfall mechanism. We'll be studying this. How, what is the waterfall mechanism? Nothing but whom to give first money once my company is dissolved. The next is investigating an officer who will be an illegal diversion of the asset, that antecedent transaction. What is antecedent transaction? Is nothing but the act has been done. Because of this particular act, the other transaction has affected. Say for an example, once I've invested in some company, say $10,000, and then because of that particular transaction, my other transaction has been affected. So that is antecedent transaction, whereby I'm creating NPA for my company or institute, that is financial institute, or if I'm a bank, to buy bank. IBBI, that is, what is the full form of IBBI? That is IBI. Can you please just tell me? I have discussed in the previous slide.
Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India.
Okay, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, who is monitoring all the monitoring and administrating the governance of insolvency law. Now, the basic terms here is nothing but okay. The basic terms here is nothing but creditors who wants to get its money back, debtors who is who's liable to pay the money back. Insolvency, insolvency and bankruptcy, I'm not able to get it get my money. Winding up a company, which 2002 act will be sufficing. Of liquidation of the company, 2002. Dissolution, 2002, the act will be sufficing. Now winding up, liquidation and dissolution. Why I'm insolvent, I'm unable to pay my money back. So where should be recovered? How should we recover the money? By winding up the company, by paying mechanism, that is waterfall mechanism, right? Whom to pay first, you have already seen in the accountancy. If you go with whom to pay first, the first I'll be paying with my creditors, and last I'll be paying my preference and equity shareholders, though they are considered as uh, the owners of the company. Now I'll 1 second. I'll be sharing once more. Now, if you've seen, I've just told you in the last lecture that you have to just read this once and then come. The ecosystem of adjudicating authority, what adjudicating authority is doing. Insolvency, IB, what is that? Information utilities, that is IE, what is that and what it is doing, what IU is doing. IPA, that is insolvency professional agency, what the professional agency will be doing in IBC code. And insolvency professional, they'll be just getting the information, which are the liabilities and how it will be resolved, what can be done, how what asset to be liquidate, how it will be getting it done. It will be done by insolvency professional. Adjudicating authority is a body which just take the authority whereby exclusive jurisdiction has been passed by adjudicating authority. IB is a member, IB board, that is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, would consist of members including representative from MCA, MOF, that is Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MOF, that is Ministry of Finance, Reserve Bank of India, and would regulate the appointment of insolvency professional. Who is the insolvency professional? They'll be just solving this one. They'll be just solving. One second. They'll be just solving if it is done. Now, next one is information utilities. The information utilities, they'll be storing the information, how it has to be done, what it has to be done, how to disseminate the information related to in-depthness of the company. All has been done by information utility. And insolvency professional, who are the insolvency professional agency, will be just admitting the complaints. The members develop the code of conduct for the members who will be solving that particular problem. Transparent, to promote transparency and best practices in the governance, and this has been insolvency professional. Now, if we see this thing, that is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. So we have three, IB has three forms. It has insolvency professional agency, information utilities, adjudicating and authorities of appellate tribunal, and insolvency professional under this. Clear? Now, this particular mechanism, how IBC code works, will be I'll be doing with sharing a new screen of again module 3 PPT. Okay. Now, talking about can you see this slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So talking about who can invoke, we can say financial creditor, as per who can invoke, that is financial creditors. No, financial creditors, the person who has a financial debt known, includes person whom such debt liability assigned and transferred. Operational creditor, now financial creditor, मैंने पैसे देकर वापस नहीं अरे मैंने पैसे देकर मुझे वापस नहीं मिले हैं. Operational creditor, I have sent him the goods and services. Maybe I'm a supplier, or I'm a technical institute who is supplying the say some system related issue, and then I'm not getting my money back. So these two can evoke. The next is corporate data under section 10. So sections are necessary. Financial creditor has section 7. Operational creditors has section 9 and corporate debtors has section 10. Now, today I'll just go with the mechanism. Now, what invoking provision of code, that is default in the case of company and LLP, in the case of company and LLP, in the case of individual, if it is default LLP, operational debt or financial debt, I can go for the company and file an application, and the resolution process will be start in the context of IBC. Now, adjudicating authority. Shall I continue, or time is up for you? Okay, I have been showing that 9 minutes is remaining. Okay, so I'll just continue. Now, NCLT, talking about, now talking about adjudicating authority, that is NCLT. NCLT is National Corporate Law Tribunal, whereby it deals with insolvency matters of every company and LLP, and appeal to NCLAT, that is National Corporate Law Appellate Tribunal. Debt Recovery Tribunal is dealing with matters of individuals and partnership firm, and appeal will be under Debt Recovery Appellate Tribunal. So NCLAT, that is National Corporate Law Tribunal, which will be taking into consideration all the company related issues of insolvency and bankruptcy and all LLP related issues. Debt Recovery Tribunal is taking into consideration the individual and partnership firm. And there is a tribunal, appellate tribunal, where the appeal has to be made, that is NCLAT and DRET. Now, ground for rejection, when it can be rejected. Now, adjudicating within 14 days receipt of application. Now 14 days will be taken by adjudicating authorities to just go for screening of the application. Now admit the application if it is whole complete application, rejection has been done if it is incomplete, if default is occurred in the application or default is not occurred in the application, but some of the compliances has to be done. The next one is a notice of rejection. Now notice of rejection has been given to them within 7 days. Now, here it has been saying within 7 days of application, rejection has been given, say 14 days it will take, and then rejection has been given. If the rejection has been given, the notice of applicant rectify defect and application submission has to be done in 7 days. So 14 days plus 7 days, the 21 days it will be taking for getting the application work, or else if my application is complete, then only 14 days is needed for adjudicating to just approve the application. Yes, the default has been done. Now the time bound, the most important thing, whereby I was taking 5 years in the last the previous one. Here the time bound is 270 days, and fast track 135 days, that is 180 days plus 90 days, 270 days, and 90 45 days, that is 135 days. So we can say 1.5 year, maximum 3 years it will be taking in IBC code. Now this is also worrisome that I'll be taking 1.5 year. Now adjudicating authority, after the admissal of application, they can declare the moratorium, cause of public announcement, and appoint interim resolution professional. Now, how it has been done, it will be shown in this particular scheme. Now, I just need to ask, you have time or we are out of time? We have 5 minutes, right? Okay. In 5 minutes, I'll just.
Ma'am, what is meant by moratorium?
I'll get into it. What is moratorium? Okay. I'll get into it. Now, the first one is number of days whereby the application has been submitted. Now, first one is IBC code, how it works, the timeline, the process. I have seen that IBC court is taking 270 and fast track mein hai, to 135 days I'll be resolving my complaint. Now the first one is number of days, that is minus 14. 14 days I'll be getting the application, and the who will be concerned about that particular application, adjudicating will be concerned about the application. They'll be just get my application, if it is complete, they'll be just admits my application, that is admission of application, filing an application in NCLT, or which one, NCLT or DRT. So debt recovery appellate tribunal, or NCLT, that is National Corporate Law Tribunal, corporate or companies law tribunal. Next is admission of application. If once adjudicating authority has admissed the application, the second thing, declare moratorium. What is moratorium? Now moratorium is they'll be sealing all the things. The business has to be sealed once the moratorium period or IBC code has been applied. Once the creditors are not in the favor of that particular bank or that particular institution, they'll just put a hold on all the things, all the operations of that particular company, that particular bank. If I'll be giving an example, I'll be giving the example of Yes Bank, whereby you'll be just remembering the moratorium period, matlab they can, all the operations has been put on hold, only and only 1,000 rupees or 4,000 rupees you can withdraw from that particular bank, so that is moratorium. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll be just stopping on this, whereby my admission of application has been done and moratorium period has been declared at 0 days. I'll be taking further in the next lecture, because time limit is, I think I'm remaining of 3 minutes. Clear? Okay. Thank you so much. And we'll just end the lecture. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe. Bye bye. Okay.